Additionally, to ensure a thorough, impartial, and expeditious investigations by the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, I ordered the interdiction of the following officers with immediate effects. Number one is the officer commanding the station, that is the Central Police Station OCS, the duty officer who was on duty during the night in question, the cell sentry on duty at the time, all officers who were on duty at the report office that night, and any other officer found to have been on duty or otherwise involved during the incident. The National Police Service remains committed to upholding the rule of law, human rights, transparency, and accountability within the service. And we will provide all the necessary support to the independent investigative agencies in order to resolve this case, and we will provide further updates as the investigation progresses. The National Police Service condoles with the family and friends and relatives of the late Albert Omondi Ojwang and asks for their patience as we get to the bottom of this matter.
Immediately after that, protests erupted along Gong Road at the city mortuary after a group of activists took to the streets demanding justice for the late ex-influencer Albert Ojwang, who died while in police custody. The demonstrators, many armed with phone cameras, staged a standoff at the roundabout near Nairobi Funeral Home, formerly City Mortuary, chanting slogans and calling for President William Ruto's resignation. They also demanded accountability for Ojwang's death, which they termed suspicious.
The deputy IGs, the OCS, they must have known what is happening. So they are culpable and they must be able to answer to the death of Albert Ojwang. And we are not going to rest. We are not going to sleep until they are brought to book.
We have so far is that this gentleman did not actually die at Bagadi. This gentleman most certainly died in custody and was brought direct here. And so a lot of things are not adding up. We are still not able to give a concrete decision or position on what really caused the death of Albert, or who is culpable, or why he was arrested, and even if he was arrested for the allegations that were being made against him, we're not able to understand why we are being told that he was being held in isolation, and why we are being told that he hit his head against the wall and succumbed as a result of that.
We want to assure the public that we are going to stand by them as the whole process is conducted, and we'll be providing you with updates of what is happening as much as we can. So as soon as the post-mortem is about to be conducted, we will alert you and we will share with you the findings. So please just we want to give you that assurance that we are with you and will present the findings. We are standing with the family and we will not leave them exposed. And we will also fight to ensure that there is no interference with the evidence whatsoever.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
The violation has taken place. He has been killed by the state, by the government. That is true and is undisputable. We already finding out when we started the investigation that the policemen are already trying to interfere by interdicting and suspending the police officers. It means they have committed a crime, because you cannot interdict somebody who is innocent. And then by trying to give us stories which can't work, we are going to assure you as citizens of Kenya, we are not just relying on their investigation. We are doing our own investigation, and we shall compare notes when they have their notes and we have our notes. We are not going to let in their hands and they tell us that samples have disappeared. When they take a sample, we take a sample.
Some of the gentlemen had said that this coming Thursday they may be plotting to protest over the same. Now, a section of members of parliament has condemned the killing saying it raises serious questions about the intolerance of divergent views about national matters. National Assembly Minority Whip Millie Odhiambo, while addressing the media, said the broad-based government does not tolerate extrajudicial killings and police brutality, calling for the president to crack the whip on the culprits involved. Speaker Moses Wetangula also urged the government to take stern action against rogue police officers.
Hospital with a family member who was on life support, and we were surrounded seeing this person die of natural causes. And I could see what the family is going through. He passed on today. Now imagine your son who is not dying because of natural causes. And you wake up in the morning and you are told that your son has died. Why? Because some idiot cannot stand an alternative view. For me, it's not even about the fact that he has died. Who gave the order for that young man to be brought to be arrested? For what? If you can't stand somebody, block. Who doesn't know the block button? Do you have to be all over listening to everyone and anyone at every time? I mean, this nonsense must stop. Kenya has come too far. These are things that are done in other countries that we have been condemning. Some around us. Cannot happen in Kenya. We will not allow it. Not in Kenya. We've seen clearly in our MOU, there is no collaboration about intolerance. There is no collaboration about limiting human rights. And that is not the nature of character of our party. And we cannot compromise on our values as a party.
Promised when you are being vetted in Parliament that you are going to weed out the small group of unpalatable officers in the force that give the larger good force a bad name. Please don't relent, don't just interdict, go to the bottom of why Ojwang was arrested, taken to the cell, walking and looking healthy, and the next day he was no more. And don't limit yourself to the case of Ojwang. Go through each and every suspicious happening to wananchi so that we restore absolute confidence in our police force.
To restore public confidence, they must make sure that those officers are quickly brought to book and the deceased gets justice. It is not right that you live in a country where a citizen can be arrested, taken to a police station and eventually found murdered, and we don't get sufficient explanation. I do not support that kind of brutality.
The death of Albert is the topic basically that has captured the attention and the talks in the country. The Law Society of Kenya was not left behind, demanding transparency from the Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja over the death of the young man. Addressing the press, LSK President Faith Odhiambo told Inspector General Kanja to release the name of the officers who've been interdicted, including those who moved Ojwang from Homa Bay County to Nairobi. IG Kanja interdicted officers who were manning the Central Police Station at the time of Ojwang's booking, where he was found critically injured in the police cell. Odhiambo added that details he has given on the unexpected death are far from sufficient in resolving the matter.
Let Kenyans know, and the ambiguity of saying in any other officer. Who are these any other officers? And secondly, the officers who picked Mr. Albert Ojwang from Homa Bay, are they part and parcel of those who have been interdicted? Without telling Kenyans in plain word of who these individuals are, will be treated to just PR for purposes of calming down the citizens of Kenya. We want to know who are these officers, the ones who picked Mr. Albert Ojwang, are they part and parcel of those interdicted? And secondly, those interdicted, we want to know their names. We want to know each and every officer involved. In this, we equally call upon the Deputy Inspector General of the Kenya Police Service, Mr. Eliud Langat, to publicly and unconditionally recuse himself from taking part or influencing the investigations in any way, save for as may be required of him as a potential witness. We know that this recusal is necessary to dispel any apprehension of prejudice and conflict of interest that may arise on his account of his role as the complainant against Mr. Albert Ojwang.
And yet, on a different case, and still including police killings, during the ongoing inquest into the death of Rex Masai, a former Kamkunji police officer, commanding station Chief Inspector Robert Mugo denied that police officers were involved in any civilian deaths during the June 24 protest triggered by the controversial finance bill. Now stationed in Githurai, Mugo testified that between the 18th and the 20th of last year, his unit was tasked with maintaining order in the lower central business district, a busy commercial hub, housing supermarkets and local businesses. Mugo, along with other police officers who have testified, consistently maintained that the demonstration in the area were not peaceful, but rather violent and criminal in nature.
There were riots within town, which were brought about by the finance bill. Specifically, ours was to quell the riots and manage demonstrators. I was deployed at Rua CPD, that is my area of jurisdiction. And Rua CPD, we were dealing with routers, not demonstrators per se.
You are dealing with routers?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that Rua CPD is where?
Rua CPD covers from Avia Center, Ronangara, Rudhuri, Nyamakema, areas of Gikomba, Mudhurwa, and parts of Ngara.
Meanwhile, the Council of Governors has thrown its weight behind President William Ruto's directive that affordable housing funds collected from Kenyans' payslip should also construct other social amenities such as markets. According to the COG chair, Ahmed Abdullahi, who is also Wajir governor, in their meeting with President Ruto last week, discussed the issue at length, and so the need to include other social amenities as they are part of the community construct. Speaking in Naivasha, Governor Ahmed said the decision was fully supported by the council. This endorsement coming at a time when there is an uproar over what the deductions from Kenyans should actually be used for.
Is that so?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. There's the debate as to being raised in certain quarters as to why money, collected and collected through the housing levy scheme is being used to develop market infrastructure. And as counties, we are arguing that, and rightfully so, that markets are an essential social infrastructure for those communities. And they contribute to the economic well-being in those areas where the houses have been put up. You cannot take people out of a scholar situation with respect to housing, and then they are trading in those markets or they're standing by the roadside selling their wares, if the port can actually support the putting up of market infrastructure. And not only market infrastructure, schools and other social infrastructure as well could be supported. Because even in the counties that we run, all the workers in those counties and all the residents that are on a paycheck contribute to the housing levy. So it's only fair that this infrastructure then is widespread and that it supports all counties and all communities across the country.
Now, goons disrupted a press briefing by Senate Finance and Budget Committee in Kisii, attacking members and staff as they address alleged financial mismanagement in the county. The team, led by the Chair Ali Roba and Senator Richard Onyonka, was in the area for oversight duties. Senator Onyonka linked the attack to leaked reports exposing the misuse of 3 billion shillings and unaccounted improvements in hospital revenue. He also condemned the recent death of blogger Albert Ojwang in police custody, holding the government responsible and demanding arrests.
Came from Nairobi with the Committee of Budget. Apparently the way the committee has become these days, it depends on which governor pays the biggest sum. They sanitize what the governor wants. We walk into the county assembly, there was nothing, there was no violence. We walk into the governor's office and the team that works in my office as oversight officers were being beaten up in the governor's office. Why? Because they are the ones who have been saying what the governor's office has been doing with the money that comes to Kisii County. We were supposed to audit, discuss all the critical issues. Why is Kisii having 3.6 billion in the CRF account? In the last 3 years, why are we not paying contractors who worked in the last 3 years? Why don't we have on-source revenue which is collected, which is accountable for? When we came in as a new team, the amount of money we were collecting was about 230, 400. We were supposed to reach 1.2 billion after 1 year. These are the records which have been given by the Auditor General and Controller of Budget. Right now we are stuck at 400. We know on-source money is being stolen. We know money is being stolen from the hospital. We know that everything.
All right, we'll go for a short break. When we come back, we'll take a look at what is in the dailies. All right? As governor of Kakamega, I doubt he can be able to pull that. Vihiga Senator Godfrey Otsotsi, nah, can't. National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula, he's been in politics for the longest time and he has never been able to do that. The only place he's been able to, act as a supremo is in Bungoma County. Which is his home turf. That's the only place he's been able to pull. But this other guy, something interesting. I'm talking about Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembeya. Natembeya is coming out as a guy who can literally take on the entire Murembe nation and lead them. In the last couple of months, he's locked horns with the government. And every time he's done that, he's gone back home and actually been treated like a hero. So kind of like showing him that Western is truly open for him. Trump card, talk of Ruto Raila ticket triggers heated debates. Once inconceivable, the idea is now gaining traction among key political operatives. So it looks the talks could be Ruto, Raila, the presidency in 2027. And it looks probable because when I look around, I doubt whether he can take Kindiki as his deputy in 2027 because as it is right now, Kindiki is not adding any value in terms of votes from his region to Kenya Kwanza. I mean, that's a foregone conclusion. So when you look around Musalia Mudavadi will not be able to influence his community to vote for him. Neither will Wetangula. So the only other probable person You guessed it. Papa. Inside Kalonzo and Gachagua battle as 2027 race heats up, multiple insider accounts paint a picture of a group already grappling with internal rivalries. Those ones will be there. When you have a strong-willed, strong personality like Gachagua with a Kalonzo Musyoka kind of person, then you're going to have a fight. Kalonzo has been in politics way longer. He's more experienced in politics than Gachagua, but in terms of influence, he has been unable to influence the politics of the country individually. The way Gachagua has been able to influence the politics of this country individually for the last couple of months. The back page of the Star, redemption moment. Mburu targets Tokyo glory after recovering from groin injury for a season. And then we take a look at the Nation. I always love the Standard last because the Standard, oh Mama Kaya, when it comes to headlines, Kenyans look up to top police bosses for answers as to who killed teacher in custody. And there you have the pictures of the top boys, Douglas Kanje, Inspector General. Then you have the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Eliud Lagat. Remember, Ojwang was arrested in Migori simply because, or alleged to have been arrested in Migori because he had made a comment concerning the Deputy Inspector General, Eliud Lagat. And then the other is the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, the boss, Mohammed Amin. Will they be able to give us a report? The jury is still out there. Page 2 is a police chiefs under pressure of a teacher's death while in custody. Then police told deceased blogger's family that he is very safe. And then hours later, he had gone into the realm of the spirit. Then shilling 11 trillion and counting. Insatiable appetite for borrowing persists. 11 trillion. Learned friends, the doctor and the Don at State House. Then we have Ruto, president who ghosted women. And then on foreign policy, Ruto is learning on the job. Then the B page, the back page, unfinished stadiums, missed tournament deadlines, dent president's sports scorecard. And then we look at this standard. Then it has the picture of the three. The Inspector General of Police, then on the my far left, it has the picture of the Deputy Inspector General, that is Eliud Lagat. And my farthest right, you have the picture of the Directorate of Criminal Investigation boss, Mohammed Amin. And the headlines reads, blood on their hands. If you remember what has been happening with Ojwang, Ojwang was alleged to have been arrested and brought to Nairobi because he basically put something that was not favorable to Eliud Lagat on X. There's another blogger who had also put something on Eliud Lagat, and he ended up at Kamkunji police station. But yesterday when all these things were happening, Kisniper aliwachiliwa and was not charged. Then the second page is commanding the carnage, the men with blood on their hearts. Then DIG Lagat on the spot of Ojwang's death. Then we have Kimunya to defend self in 60 million public land case. This is former lands minister Amos Kimunya. And then grade 9 learners start choosing career paths. Then 2 police bosses confirm secret deployment on day Rex was murdered. Broad-based government begins to look like Roman bread and circuses. Guys are not being very, guys are very critical and harsh on this government. Then Karoa makes bold statement in local and East African politics. Court sets hearing date for IEBC nominees. I wish people can give Martha Karua an opportunity to lead this country. I think she has potential. There's a she may not be the most, I don't know, she appears not to be an extremely social person, but I am one of those people who believe that she can make a good president. I really do. I believe Martha Karua can probably make one of the best presidents we've never had. Court sets hearing date for IEBC nominees. Kenya calls for tangible regional action to curb proliferation of illegal arms and trafficking. Then the back page of the Standard, winners. Portugal toasts Ronaldo's winner mentality in final. And then we have Lewandowski to boycott Poland under current coach. Lewandowski sounds like Kibandaski. You know what I'm saying? I used to work with Betty Chalo, and she loved going to Kibandaski. So anything that ends up with ASCII just brings my mind to that. Netoa nenia. Tumaliza maneno. At 9 a.m. we're going to have Your Faith today, and then when it comes to around 2 p.m. we'll have Your Faith with Teddy and DJ Show.